Hi everyone, it's Jen here from FNSPW. Welcome to our annual Christmas Desmos drawing competition. This competition is for Year 7 to 13 Welsh students, with prizes to win for all age categories. All you have to do is submit an original Christmas drawing made on Desmos by the 19th of December. The link to enter will be in the description box below, and during this video I will be giving a tutorial on how to draw The Snowman by Raymond Briggs. This will hopefully help you learn some of the basics and more advanced techniques on Desmos.
So, first of all, I'm going to show you some examples of things that have been submitted in the past. So here we are on the FMSPW website, and these are some of our previous competition entries and winners. So, for this tutorial, I'm going to start with some of the basics on how Desmos works. So, all we're going to be using is Desmos, and I'll also be using an online maths tool to help rearrange equations as well. So first of all, make sure you have an account so that you can save your work. So we can see I'm logged in here. And then if you go to Graphing Calculator. Right, so Desmos has some great resources already and some examples of how to do things. I thought a step-by-step guide would be helpful anyway, but definitely check out the Desmos resources as well, and there's loads of tutorials online for how to do some very specific and very cool drawings that other people have done with a lot more experience. So Desmos is a really good program, and you can do lots of things. My main tip is to just play around with it, have a go, and you'll probably surprise yourself at the sort of things you can make. The first thing we're going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you the basics for where things are located on Desmos. So if you click on this bit here, you'll see first of all the previous graphs you've worked on, and somewhere you can make a new blank graph. If you scroll down, there'll be examples. These have different line examples, and so circles, and some a bit more complicated ones. So a polar logarithmic spiral, which is very cool. But yeah, so there's lots of examples there. So if we go onto new blank graph, so at this plus icon, you have the option to insert an expression, a note, a table, a folder, or an image. So firstly, if we do an expression, that's just a blank one of these, and we can insert graphs. So if we take a basic graph line of y equals mx plus c, it will create these sliders for you. And what that means is when you click all, it means you can alter the lines on here. So rather than trying to predict what number you need. So you can also change the regions. So we've got quite, with minus 10 to 10, you really can do most things. But let's say you want a really big, if you want to use a lot of the scale, you might want to move the sign a fair bit more. So you can click on it, then change the region. So you might want to only work on the positive region. So this is just a change of the slider bar, and you can change it as much as you want. So that now goes all the way up to 40. You can change it again from 50, range from minus 50. And so you can really change how much you can alter the numbers here. So just to jog your memory on all the different types of graph lines we can use. So obviously a basic line is great. We also have a circle, Okay, so there we go. Now you have a circle. You can change the size with R, which is obviously the radius. You can use A to move it along the x-axis, and B to move it along the b-axis, the y. And then you can use Then you can use B to move it along the y-axis. There we go. So now if we closed these, right, insert new expression. So also another thing we can do is we can add folders, just so you remember what each expression is, because as you'll see with a lot of these, you'll just end up getting loads of different graph lines, and then you can kind of group them together a bit, which is good. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is a ellipse. So this will be useful if you want anything round and not perfectly circular. Right, so the equation for an ellipse is that over A. And with typing these equations, I am using shorthands on the keyboard. So some really useful ones is shift key and then little up arrow by the 6, or the shift key and then underscore for subscript. But also you can find all of these under the keyboard, which I will show you in a moment. Okay, so that's an ellipse. There we go. So we'll just hide our circle for a minute. There we go. And then now you have some real funky circles that you can put in, and as big as you like. So another thing you can do to type these equations is if you go on the keyboard here is a lot of the things you'll need. You can also use the functions button to insert sine, cos, tan, anything like that. And if you need anything else, so they should all be down here. Okay, so next thing we're going to use then is a sine graph. So if you would like a nice wave, maybe for some tinsel or something, this will come in handy. There we go. So you can obviously make it as tall as you want, move it along. Okay. You can change this function as well. So you might want tan if you want to have a funky pattern. Obviously, within these graphs, you can add extra functions and you can add extra multipliers to change them up and get them to move around how you want them to. So the most adjustable graph equation that we can have is actually y equals a root b plus, and then brackets x minus h to the power of 2 plus, and then out of the square root plus k. So if we turn on the side for all of those, so when you, so that's the thing. So once you have used the siders for another equation, you would then use those figures to put them into the equation, and then you would stop having that. So we'll just close that one so you can't see it. Right, so this graph equation in the y-axis will open up at the top and the bottom. So as you see, it opens up. Okay, and then you can change the line, move it. So h will move it along the x-axis, k will move it along the y-axis. Another version of this, if you want it to open up left and right, is to do the opposite. So have it as x and then change that for y. And then open that up. There we go. So that's the same line, but going along the x-axis. And all of these graphs, they can be changed, you can add more variables, and you'll see in a minute there's a lot of different rules and things you can do to really expand your creativity for the sort of graph lines you can make. But those are the basics, and I think one last thing we'll do is y equals log a, and then shift underscore ax. So that is a log graph. We know how to make folders and the sort of basic graph lines and how to create a slider effect so we can form lines and change the size as we go. Okay, so now we've gone over the basics, we're going to try and make our own graph. So the example I've got here is we're going to do the snowman. So the first function I'm going to use is I'm going to upload an image from my computer. So we've got this. There we go. So there he is. So to start off, we're going to try and outline the body. So if we start with his head, it's a nice squish circle. So we'll probably go with an ellipse equation. And then kind of form it from there. It's open brackets x minus h, close brackets to the power of 2 over a plus y minus k power of 2 over b equals r squared. So now we have sliders for all of these variables. So we'll try and get it into the middle. There we go. So we know it's somewhere between probably 0.8 and 1.3, because that's almost right, but it's a little bit off. So there we go. So if we insert those figures, we've got a equals 1.7, k equals 1, b equals 1.4, and r equals 1.24. Then we delete those. So now we're going to make the body of the snowman. So using the kind of y equals mx plus c equation, I've added in these brackets variables to move x and y specifically. Just makes it a little bit easier to move around. So I've got y plus d equals m brackets x plus a close bracket squared plus c. And then this is what I've got. So I found that it might be best to just create this curve and then add the lower part of the body where it becomes more straight. So we're going to do 0.2 is d, a is 0.1, m is minus 0.0, that's a is minus 0.1, m is minus 0.2, and c is 1.4. Okay, so we have this body curve which will be used for the shoulders, and now we want to add some arms. So what I've got is a y equals mx plus c standard line graph. So we're going to move this. So if we increase c to, there we go, he's got some nice chunky arms. Let's put that to 33, and then that to 10. So close those. That line now stays there. We want the same line on the other side. There we go. So that's transformed that line over to the opposite side. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put some boundaries in, so these lines stop. So we want these two lines first, will be easiest. So we want this to stop at this intersection. So because the graph line is in the y-axis, we're going to create a boundary in the x-axis. And this one is then x is greater than 3.49. Oh, no, it's not. Slightly different on this side. So where does that intersect? Let's see. So he's a bit sloped. 3.397. So this is a bit of a wonky snowman, but we love him anyway. So now we're going to put the same boundaries in on the curve. This is slightly different. So we want a boundary at the end of his shoulder and before his head. What we're going to do is we're going to copy this line and have it twice. So we can have two sets of boundaries. So for this line, we'll hide the blue one for now. And then for this line, we're going to have it between minus 3.429 and then minus 1.568. So what's really helpful is Desmos tells you where it intersects if you just hover over it at these grey points. If it doesn't show you can also double click and create your own point. So now we'll show this one again. 1.594 3.397. So now we're going to make his hat. Absolute classic part of his outfit. So we're going to do another ellipse. So same as this equation up here, we've got r squared equals x minus h minus h. Right, that's close enough. So we'll put those figures in. 0.8, h is 0.3, a is 10, a is 10, k is 1.1, and No, yeah, and B is 1.1 as well. So that is the bottom of the hat. Now we're also going to, this is a bit more of detail, but we're going to add this 3D, this back part of the hat as well. We're going to do that by just doing a second ellipse. Okay, so let's try a similar size. Cool, so that looks like the base of the hat. As you can see, this red line kind of does those lines there. So we're going to do that as 0.911, and then H is minus 0.2, but it's minus minus, so it's now a plus 0.2. A is 4.567, and K is 2. B is 0.7. So I'm gonna have that one twice, and the green one, the green line is only needed once. So the green line ends at minus 1.802. So minus 1.802 is less than x, which is less than 1.681. And hopefully you can start understanding the boundaries now. Ooh, what is happening there? Okay. There we go. Actually, so this is a very easy mistake to make. Because I've done the boundary with an X, that actually is including the bottom part of the ellipse as well. So we need to do the boundary within Y. Okay, so that doesn't work either, and you'll see why now, because what we want is we want it greater than 1.567 over here, but we want it greater than 1.803 over here, and that's because our beloved snowman is a bit wonky. So if I did greater than 1.567, so Y is greater than 1.567, you see it's all the way out here, and we can't do both boundaries at once because that won't work. So what I would do, and there's probably other methods for this as well, you could just add a curve instead, but I quite like how well the ellipse curves with the hat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to solve to have two semi-ellipses by solving for Y. So I use this tool called Mathway, and I go on the basic math section, and this just helps you to figure out and solve for Y and X. If you are feeling very capable, by all means do this without using a online assistant, but also you can, because it really Desmos teaches you about graphs anyway, and you'll learn passively even if you're not solving the equations yourself. So also with some of these pictures you'll have loads of equations and it's just unrealistic to do it for all of them. And we'll need to note this down now because you can't copy and paste this application. And I want to solve for Y. So we'll insert another graph line, and then below the original one. So you'll see if you type in these two equations, they should be two semi-ellipses that make up the whole ellipse. Sometimes this website will give you really long numbers as well, and if you type it in, you might get a simplified fraction. if it's a repeating number, but I just tend to type them all in. So you remove that now and you can see, there we go, so it's a graph line that we can now restrict in the x-axis because we don't have that lower bit to include. Greater than, x is greater than minus 1.802, which is less than 1.681. Right, we can go ahead and delete that original ellipse, although I think I will keep it because I think the hat stays the same shape up here, so we can probably move that around later. But first, if we go back to that, right, so we have two lines here. We also need to solve this ellipse for y. There we go. And we want to solve for y. We'll note that down, or just screenshot it. And back to Desmos, I'm going to type that in. Right, so something has gone wrong here. Okay, so something's gone wrong, but so we go back onto Mathway and we check that the original equation typed in was correct. So now we look back at our graph, we see not only was there a plus or minus that was wrong, but as you may have spotted, the square was inside the bracket, not outside. And this completely changed the graph to not be ellipse. So there we go. Now that should work. Solve for y, and we have this equation. So my advice is to just keep going back and double checking because it's so easy to just miss something and you're seeing it differently. It's also really helpful to get a friend or a teacher to have a little look and try and problem solve with you. There we are. Now we have our graph line, so we can hide those. We're going to copy this, so we have two versions. And we want this line to intersect there. So the boundary is when x is greater than minus 1.802 and less than minus 1.54. Now the same on the other side, but slightly different because we've got our lovely little wonky hat, 1.471, and we'll do 1.681. Right, now we've got the base of our hat, and we're going to keep going like this with different ellipse lines. But before we finish the hat, I just want to put in the boundary for the head. So the hat intersects with the head circle at minus 1.41 and 1.301. With the head circle, to put in those boundaries, we're going to have his head split, sorry Mr. Snowman, into two semicircles in the x-axis. You want one like this and one like this. And this is because he's wonky. You could definitely make a much easier shape, but if you want to trace something, it might be a little wonky. So, where is his head? Let's see. Right, it's all the way up here. So we want that one. We want to solve it for x. There we go. So that's what we want. And another way of copying this actually as well is if you click the settings, you just click copy there, We'll duplicate, click done. And we've got 2 copies, and now this we just want a negative version of that for the other side. So we want this curve where it's less than 1.718 on the y-axis. So y is less than 1.718. If we get rid of that blue line, 1.871 for the other one. Y is less than 1.871. Now you can see his head under his hat. We can delete the original circle. So this is getting a bit confusing, so I'm going to add some folder names. So we've got head, body, aren't we? That however can be deleted because we don't need another circle that shape. Right, so, and then we want a file name, a folder name called hat. And where all these lines are complete, I'm just going to change them to black. Right, and he's starting to come together. So I'm going to use this line from earlier, this ellipse. We're going to remember it's 0.3. Give the slider up, change it to about 0.3, and then, okay, that was 1.1, but we want to raise that, so yeah, that is that line, I think, and, well, that fits that line quite nicely as well. Yeah, so I say that because they're the same. So that upper line we're going to call 1.7 and 0.3 for H. Going to keep that as is for now. I'm just going to create all our lines. If you want to be really particular, those lines kind of match that and that goes flatter. So we might do that, but you could also just leave it here. But I do get carried away with making it very accurate. But you can, this is the fun thing about this, you can do more simple shapes, so you can really get that accurate 3D look. So that is 1.07. Like that for now. We want to duplicate that again. So if we show this again there, so that's what the hat's going to look like. So with all those lines showing, it may look a little bit overwhelming. But if we just do it one at a time, we'll start to see the hat coming together. So first of all, this line, we want ending where it crosses this bit here, and here where it goes up, and here where it meets this line. Okay, so we want to solve it for y, because we're just using this part of the ellipse. Yep, so this graph here, going to solve for y. There we go, that's that line. We want 2 of those. Sorry, we'll just do it in the x-axis, so minus 1.768 and minus 1.81. There we go. And then for this one, hold that for a second. We want it between 1.341 and 1.645. There we go. And now we've got those little bits. I'm gonna hide that green line now. And this is quite a sloped line, but I think we will keep it like it is. So now we want to cut this one down. We want to solve for y again. So we just have this top part. And just be careful of what's inside and outside of the root, because that will change where it is. So we can hide that green now. So we just want one of these lines, and we want it to intersect at -1.81. There we go. Bit wonky, but it's cute. It's good enough. We don't need that line anymore. And we will change this to black. To create an intersect here, we want lines, these lines here. So we want to do y equals mx plus c. We want quite a straight line. And we're going to increase the range to 30. That looks good to me. So that is 10 and 14, and then y equals mx plus c again. Yep. Okay, so I have done that side of the hat quite We'll join them up so it doesn't look too strange. So it's not quite accurate to how his hat should look. But we're going to use a little bit of artistic flair. So -1 and then 3.3. That is all right. Very wonky hat. So we want this green line now. So we're going to bring this down so we know where we are. We want to solve it for y and then use these lines to figure out the boundaries. Right, so there's that line. We can delete the green ellipse now. We want that line to go between -1.162, 0.776. We're also going to keep these lines in now, and we want that to go between 2.385 on the y-axis and above 2.034. Okay, and then the slightly wonky line is less than 2.524. Which is... okay. To be fair, we probably don't need the top line. So I'm actually going to go ahead and delete that last ellipse. I think our hat's good enough without that last line. Okay, so the hat is done. What we're going to do now is we're going to add the face. I have 2 eyes using this. So we know it's going to be super small, so we'll do it between 0 and 0.2 to get a better control on the range. We'll zoom in a bit. Around about there, so we'll limit that to 0.3 and 0.45. So, gonna duplicate that. Now we'll have the left eye. We probably want it at the same level, and then we just want it a lot to the left. Keep his eye the same. Right, so we can actually just copy and paste this and change h to minus 0.54, which goes to a plus 0.54. So now we're going to go onto the nose. I think that's pretty good. So there we have his 2 eyes and a nose. Next, we want a lopsided smile. There we go, that's pretty much what we want, isn't it? So we'll go 0.3, 0.15 and 0.55. So we want it to go between minus 0.87 and 0.62. There we go. We've got our cheeky little smile. Going to change these to black. That is our face done. So we're going to add some buttons now. Okay, so back to our favourite equation, the ellipse. A bit smaller and around about the middle. A lot lower. So just to keep this a little bit more simple for ourselves, we are going to just keep these pebbles as straight ellipses along the y-axis. So we just want 2 of these. Whoop. There we go. And the last thing we're going to do is the scarf. I'm going to keep this quite simple as well. Just a nice boxy scarf with some lines. And probably a more simplified version of this is if I do, so we want y equals a root b plus x minus h squared plus k. And really I think we can use that line for this as well. So then this is the last line we have left. So we're going to paste that, and you can see that h always moves the x along the x-axis, and k is always used when that number moves it along the y-axis. So here is all our lovely lines. Looks a bit messy now, but we'll quickly tidy that up. So let's first go to this green line that we did. We want that to be restricted within this boundary with the purple line at minus 0.039. Let's have it stop at minus 0.745. There we are. This blue line, we would like 2 copies because we use this line twice. Minus 0.397 on the x-axis. We want it to start minus 1.654. Cool. And the red line, we want it to start at 0.397, 1.416. And last of all, this purple line, we want it to go from where it meets the green line. We said that was minus 0.042. And we'll stop it here at 1.045. So now we just want lines to create the ends of the scarf. We won't do a fancy tassel pattern. I think we'll just do nice blocky lines. Y equals mx plus c, and we will zoom out a bit so we can see what we're doing. What we can do to make our lives easier as well is I'll do the line here, and then I'll go back to the scarf and make this line the boundary instead. So minus 0.7 and minus 2.5. Cool. And then we'll do another y equals mx plus c. That's 1 and minus 2.6. Okay, so going back to these lines, we want this line to start at minus 1.596. It's this blue one. There we go. But the green line, this one, to start at minus 0.7371. We'll have this purple line and 0.9993. Lovely stuff. And of course we want these ending lines to be shorter, don't we? So this green one, minus 1.596 and minus 0.7375. This line will go for between 1.4086 and 0.9993. Yeah. Okay, make all those lines black. Right, and there we have it. So this is our snowman in just graph lines. Oh, and as we zoomed out, we've seen he has very long arms, so we're also going to just stop the arms at the correct length. So first we'll do that, and there we are. That's nice now, isn't it? So put that to black. Let's stop his, where is his arms? There's his body. Right, let's put a boundary in so it's greater than 3.77. And same over here. Okay. So, what we're gonna do is, right, to colour in something, as I think I said earlier, you want to do a inequality. So that is y is greater than, and then the thing you're doing. So first of all, what we're going to try colouring in is the scarf, I think. So let's do this line, and y is less than that. So there we go. And let's do that in between that line. So we want this now is to equal to y. So we're going to go on our old friend math way, and we are going to solve for y again. And it does get a bit repetitive, but it's really satisfying when you can colour something in. Solve for y. So if we imagine these are the two lines, and we want our colouring in to be in between them. So we'll make sure y is greater than that line. And there we go. So we can't then put in an x boundary that's an equation, so we just need to give it a number for it to lie between. we're going to try doing x is greater than minus 0.735 and less than minus 0. Okay, so that section is filled in. Okay, so what we've done now is we've broken this into smaller sections, and you really just have to, you see what I did there, you just have to like play around with it and see which way you can create boundaries for the y-axis with still being able to create the boundaries you need for the x-axis. You need to figure out whether you want to create the boundary on y and then limit it in x, or vice versa. So that's that first part done. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of the scarf. And you want the upper limit of that one to be this curve here. So we want this in terms of y now. The next section is going to be very similar to this green section here. So this was done between these two lines. Boundaries were set in the x-axes. And then the other side, this line, which it is greater than. Okay, and then we want that between, where did we get to? 0.4066. Then that stops at 0.9993. We're doing it much quicker this time because it takes a while to figure out the first time. So don't be alarmed if you're struggling. So we want y is less than that and greater than. Then we want to set the boundary to 0.9999. Then x is greater than 0.9999. There we are. And our scarf is done. So really we can go ahead and remove those extra lines we popped in. They were just used calculations. We're going to put in a boulder. Oh, accidentally put that all the way at the top. Scarf colour. And this is quite fun because you could do like a checkered scarf, but now we're just going to do all one solid colour. So do do that as green. And if you want to change the colour of green, you can do that, and I will show you that now with a little bit of colour theory. Do a 0.2 fill, so we're also going to get rid of the lines on all of this, so we just keep our black lines. So I'll go through and get rid of all the lines first. Okay, I've duplicated all of these a moment ago, so we'll do the second one as yellow, 0.1. So that's his scarf coloured in. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fill in the hat now. So the first do is this bit here, this little bit. So that's between with less than. But we don't want it to go into the head like this, so we're going to put a limitation on it. It's before minus 1.54, not 1 in the x-axis. And then we want another one between this line and face. So we actually need to solve this for y. Okay, that's looking good. So that's our y-axis. So we want it greater than that. So that's that section. Now we've got to do the same for the other section. And now we will colour these bits in. So now we just have our circles to do. This is in our face and the little pebble buttons. So we've done the hard bits now. So let's pop down to the face. Cheers over here. So to do this is the easiest bit. Don't know why I left it till last. Colour the nose, just do a circle and instead of equals you put the greater than sign. Then we'll do the eyes. And my challenge for you at the end of this video is if you wanted to have a go, you could try colouring in the snowman background. We'll have a link for this snowman in the description if you're on YouTube. But for now, this is our snowman. He's peering through the window. Yeah, this is how to use Desmos. So hopefully following this tutorial, you'll have got the general gist of it. There's also loads of other tutorials out there that are really, really helpful. If you'd like to enter our competition this year, please check out our website or the link below. And we're very excited to see your entries because I think this is such a fun challenge. You can really draw anything with graphs and you practice maths without even realising. So this is goodbye from me and Mr. Snowman. Thank you very much and I'll see you next time.
Thank you for watching this tutorial. Check out the link in the description below to visit our website and check out the rest of our YouTube channel for more maths fun. Merry Christmas and good luck!